You hear about this type of thing all the time. You know how it's important to really research and study your competition. But have you ever even stopped to ask yourself why it is we do this? Well, you're in luck, because in today's video, we're going to be talking about why and how to research your competition. Because after all, don't they say, keep your friends close and your enemies closer? Just kidding. Let's get into it. Hey guys, thanks again for clicking on another one of my videos. If you're looking for a video today about competitor research, you are in the right place. So please give this video a big thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future videos. Now let's get right into it. So why is it important to research our competition? Well, I could give you one reason, but instead I've got four. Number one, to learn about their strengths and weaknesses so that ultimately you can outperform them. Number two is to deep dive into their funnels and reverse engineer what they're doing so that, again, you can do it better. Number three, you also need to understand what customers are saying about them. You need to hear their pain points so that you can then take that information when crafting your offer and then by default become the alternate better option. And lastly, number four, you need to understand their market position so that you can then understand where you fit in accordingly. Okay, so before we get any further along, it's important to understand that there are two different categories of competition. So there is direct competition and indirect competition. For direct competition, this means that they have the same or very similar offer to you, whereas with indirect competition, they have a different offer than you, but are selling to the same target market. So for our purposes here, you're gonna wanna start out first researching direct competition, and then after that, you can start looking at indirect competition. Now, the next step is to actually go ahead and find your competitors. So the first and generally simplest way is literally just a good old Google search. And you can try typing in things like best blank course or ways to solve blank. And this is a pretty straightforward way to easily identify the leaders in your industry. Then the next place that you can look is Facebook groups. You can literally just type in and engage with the Facebook groups and say, hey, what are your favorites in this niche? And then wait for the responses to roll in. And hopefully you get some good traction and you can start to see trends either to a certain person or business, and then you can just kind of follow that research along from there. And another thing to point out is that Facebook groups are actually a really great place for unearthing honest and unfiltered opinions, because this is a platform where people go to just really chit chat and share. So it's a really great spot for this type of thing. And another important note is that once you're in these Facebook groups, definitely make an effort to stay engaged in them so that you can continue to follow sort of industry buzz and really keep your ear on the ground. Also on Facebook, you can go to someone's page and click on page transparency, and then go to ads library and you can see all of their ads. It's really straightforward and definitely worth checking out because it can give you some really, really powerful insights. And then next you can move on to a YouTube search. So you can literally just do kind of like some organic searching around, for example, blank tips. YouTube is a place where the gurus live. So this should pretty easily point you in the right direction. And also just because of the nature of YouTube, it's a really great place to find popular channels and really be able to spot the trending and up and coming things going on in your industry. And then finally, you can use things like VidTow or other ad spy tools. These are really great. You can try inputting keywords, or you can literally search up your actual competitors' names, and then it's going to put in front of you a bunch of their ads and data about where they are advertising. So this is a super useful tool for really getting to know your every customer's move. And from there, you can actually go to your competitors' websites and just continue watching all of their ads, look for all their different ones so that you really can get a good feel for sort of everything that they're putting out there. All right, so now that you've located your competitors and done some of that preliminary research, what's the next step? So the next thing to do is to record and go through their actual funnels. And yes, I said record because it's very important to have that so that you can then go back again and again and again and really study all that information. So there actually is a name for this, and maybe you've heard it before. It's called funnel hacking. And so with funnel hacking, you're going through the funnels and you're actually purchasing the upsells and the downsells and trying to kind of get into every corner and experience the full funnel for yourself. Obviously, this is super valuable information because you're going to be feeling and experiencing exactly what the customers are experiencing. And for more detailed information on this, you can look up Peter Prue's funnel hacking on YouTube, and we can link that for you here. Also, as I mentioned before, it's super important to document and collect and record all of this information. Like I said before with the funnel hacking, you're gonna wanna screen record that. And then when you're going through the automations, definitely make sure that you're adding those to a swipe file, and then opt into their emails, add those to a Google Doc. Be collecting this whole file of all this information that you can go back and study later. And a pro tip is that make sure that you have a couple different emails so that you can use one for when you're purchasing and one for when you're doing other email opt-ins, so that way you can make sure that you trigger all of their different email sequences so that you get to have a look at sort of everything that they have out there. And there you have it. Now you've got all of the tools that you can need to snoop, creep, just kidding. I mean, professionally research your competition. So definitely do not skip these steps because it really can make a huge difference in being either somebody that's fighting for a spot in the middle of the pack or being somebody that is like clearly crushing the competition. And also definitely do not skip giving this video a big like, a comment down below, and subscribing to the channel so that you don't miss any future tips like this. Thanks again so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.